So contact this number, the number which is displaying on the screen, 9652955429. This is the number. There's a form which is given in case if you have not filled the form. So team has provided the form for a 10 a.m. batch. Yeah, so this is the contact number. Contact this team, this number to for any admin information or anything related to the videos or fee structure, anything. Please contact this number. They will guide you. Now let's start it. Now, Salesforce developer need to understand. Now, in case if I want to go for a development, not for the admin, if I have to go for a development, that means as a developer, as a Salesforce developer, if I have to step in, what are the things that I need to learn in Salesforce? In Salesforce, we have to be perfect in admin and development side, Apex, SOQL, SOSL. We should know how to write a Apex. We should know how to write a query, SOQL and SOSL. And then Lightning Web Components, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And after that, we have a integration REST, so web services. So developer should know the most. Developer should know the things are admin, development, Lightning Web Component. If you have a knowledge in integration, you can work on it. So, but in order to get a job, you need these three things. A practical experience. When I say this, practical experience you needed. This is knowledge you needed. Integration knowledge is required. So whenever we enter into the, for example, in Salesforce, so if you are switching from one technology to another technology, so what is the different ways you can switch it? How can you enter into the Salesforce? How can you enter into the Salesforce? So if you want to enter into Salesforce, the first thing is that you need to enter to the admin. You should know all the admin things, all the configuration, what are the configurations we have it, all the configurations you should do. And our topic, so like a teaching is a topic wise, we will teach all the sessions topic wise. Like first we will take one topic or a functionality, so that topic we will complete it. Like what is that topic and why Salesforce has been produced, how that topic is works, and where should I need to use. So our teaching methodology will be on the topic wise. And then we will cover the technical. So the basic things, if anybody new to the development, we will be teaching the very basic technical. From the technical to till the scenarios, we will cover the scenarios. And then we will, on Saturday, if we have a time, then we will cover the project. And also we do have interview support, job support, and project development. Right, so these are the different things which we are doing it, and this is our teaching methodology. Now coming back to the admin, fine. If I have to learn a sales, I need to start the admin. Now, if I have to start the admin, how many topics do we have in admin? And what are the topics should I need to learn? So first we will see the topics, then we will see one by one. The Salesforce admin topics are, first we will talk about the overall at the high level, how the projects works in the IT company. Then we'll start the Salesforce introduction and we'll see what are the basics that are available. Right, so if I have to start the CRM functionality, what are the basic things that I need to learn? And what is Salesforce CRM? How it is started? And what is post.com? Then we will see the post.com. What is the post.com? Where we will be using it. Then we will see the data model and UI customization. So this is all about the UI thing and the data security. We will talk about the data security. Email templates. Either email templates use, and then we have it reports and dashboard. Reports and dashboard automation. Lightning flows, we will cover the lightning flows and then slowly we will move on to the MVC architecture. Then we'll see the activity management, data management. Total 16 topics we have. In every total 16 topics we have. So Salesforce admin topics. First one is where we will talk about the Salesforce project, how the Salesforce projects runs into the IT company. And then we will talk about the introduction, the Salesforce introduction. And then we'll see the Salesforce basics. And the fourth one is a Salesforce CR. And after that, we have a post.com. We'll see the post.com, why we use the post.com, how we will use it. Then what is the data model? Data modeling. Just give me a 2 minutes.
Hello, Swapna ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, just a minute. Madam got disconnected. Maybe some network issue.
Okay.
We have a data modeling. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So data modeling is the sixth one. Now, once we are done with the data modeling, then we will see the UI customization. What are the different things the Salesforce is providing it, and how can I customize the UI? And how secure is the data in Salesforce? So we will talk about the data security. And the ninth one is, once we have a security is done, then if I have to send an email to the customer, how can I send the email? So where can we do it? So which is called as the email templates. The topic is email templates. So in email templates, we will implement the emails, then we will have a queues. We'll see the queues. There are different type of queues, and also we have along with the queues, public groups is also available. And after that, we will talk about the reports and dashboards. Reports and dashboards. Next, we will see the automation. So in Salesforce, just using the configuration, how can I automate it? And what are the existing one and what is the latest one? As part of the automation itself, we will talk about the lightning flows. And then we need MVC architecture. MVC architecture. And then we have a activity management. What are the different activities that can be done? And the last topic is data management. How can we manage the data? So these are total 16 topics we will be learning in the admin. Apart from these 16 topics, there are subtopics also available. So we will see the subtopics, but main topics are 16 topics. So everybody, you should remember the 16 topics in admin. Now let's see here. Now let's say first one. In the first one, what we will be discussing is project IT, Salesforce project in IT company. So basically, we will talk about the different project activities. In the project activities, we'll talk about the daily stories, Salesforce task, how we will get it. Did we do yesterday? Like what are we doing today? And anything blockers and what are the different activities do we have as part of the project? So what are the different activities? The developer will be involved. The admin team will be involved. So we will see this. And then we have a teams. So what are the different teams we have it in Salesforce, like a development team, QA team, BA team, like that. So we will see what are the different teams we have it. And also we will talk about the meetings. What are the different meetings I'll be playing a role? Like when I say I'll be playing, that means developer or a admin. What are the meetings you guys will be attending it? So the meetings will be like a daily stand-up, Scrum activities. What are the different activities in the Scrum? we will see everything in the Salesforce project in IT company. Now, once we are clear on the high level how the projects runs into the companies, then we will see about the Salesforce introduction. Now, in Salesforce introduction, we'll talk about Salesforce services. What are the different services we have in Salesforce? And then we'll talk about the technologies, the front end, back end, what is the logic and the technology, what is front end, what is back end for Salesforce, what is the business logic, where do we write the technology, where do we write the code for the Salesforce, we will talk about that. Then how many technologies we will be using in Salesforce, what are the different technologies that we will be using in Salesforce. Does it have a combination of the technology or it has its own technology in Salesforce? We will see the insight in Salesforce introduction. And the next one is a Salesforce basics. In Salesforce basics, mostly we will focus on storage mechanism. How the storage mechanism is there and what are the different editions we have and what are the sandboxes. And then we will see what are the releases that are available in Salesforce. And when Salesforce is releasing these releases, how a developer or a admin know that whenever there is a release is happening, how they will know that when is the release happening and what are the new features are released by the Salesforce, how we will know. That we will be covering in the Salesforce basics. And the next one is we'll have a Salesforce CL. Now we will start here Salesforce product. What are the different products, Salesforce product and clouds we will see. And then we will talk about the CRM architecture overview. What is the customer relationship management overview, like how it is architected in the Salesforce. So what is the overview? So we will see at the high level. Now, fifth one is force.com. In the force.com, which all our environments does have a force.com? Who all can use the force.com? What is the license that is required in order to open the force.com? And where is the development is happening? Right, so these all we will see. That means we will talk about the environment, sandboxes, how to access this force.com, we will see. And next one is data modeling. So data modeling, there are so many subtopics are there in the data modeling. Like the first thing in the data modeling, we'll see about the application. Then we'll talk about the objects. And after that, we'll talk about the tabs. Then we'll talk about the fields, relationships. What are the different relationships in the data modeling? In the data modeling, we also see the roll-up summary field, schema builder. Where can we see the schema builder? How to access the schema builder? What are the activities can be done in the schema builder? And then we will see the validation rule. When it is used, the validation rule, how to create a validation rule. And is there any limits? And then we'll talk about the formula fields. And after that, we'll talk about the field tracking history duplicates. These all are part of the data modeling. So these are the subtopics. 11 subtopics which are part of the data modeling. So the topics, the subtopics are applications, objects, tabs, fields, relationship, roll-up summary, and schema builder, validation rule, formula fields, field tracking, and duplicate rows. These are the 11 subtopics of the data model. And these subtopics will be having again subtopics will be there. Okay. But these are the at the high level we will be covering in the data model. These are the 11 topics, subtopics we will be covering in the data modeling. And the next one we have a UI customization. UI customization is nothing but user interface. Salesforce is already providing the user interface. On top of it, what can be changed as per the requirement? So that means we will be covering here list views. How can I see the data? Which, based on the requirement, what are the data they wanted to see it in the table? How can I customize it? So we will talk about the list views, layouts. There are different type of layouts we have, and then record types. All these three things we will be seeing it. So layouts and also compact layout also we will see. Lexi pages also we will see. That these all are part of the UI customization. Next, we have a data security. Now, in data security, we will talk about the users and their licenses. Also, org level, edition level, what are the licenses to be get it? And then we will talk about the organization level. What are the different organization levels we have it? And then we'll talk about the object level. What are the permissions can I give at the object level? What are the permissions can I give it at the field level? What are the permissions can I give it on the record level? So data security is the main topic. Inside that we have a 5 subtopics are there. Users, profiles and licenses, organization level security, object level security, field level security, record level security. These 5 are subtopics. Then we'll have an email templates. In the email templates, we will see how to create a folder in the email templates, which is the email template folder. Then we will talk about the email templates, how to create a email templates. Now, out of 16, so far we have seen 9. 1 to 9. Right? Till this point, by the time we reach to the 9, we are pretty good in the Salesforce to like which object, fields, record types, layouts, and security level. So when we reach to the 9th point, 9th topic, we should be good in the understanding any kind of admin security configuration. Any questions to this point? After this, we will be learning the queues and public groups. Now there are some topics within the queues, like a queues, groups, which is nothing but a public group, automated transfer, assignment rules. So these are the subtopics of the queue. Right, so we will see how to create a queue and how to assign a record to the user or a queue or a public group. If you want to transfer a record from one record to another user. So for example, right now I'm handling the one record. Now suddenly I'm going on sick leave. On behalf of me, somebody else has to access the record and process it. That means how can I transfer my data to the other user so that they can do the work which is on behalf of me. So we will see this in the queues. Then we have a level the topic which is a reports and dashboards. Reports and dashboards, we will talk about the report types. And also there are Salesforce is already providing the default reports. So when we create an object, that time a report also gets created at the backend. The Salesforce is also providing the report types. So by using the standard report, you can create another report. Now, in case if you do not want to use the standard report type, then you can create your own custom report type. You can build your own custom report type based on that report type. You can create a reports. Now, in the reports, we have a field creation. In reports also, we can create a field. Like these fields are only available to that particular report. You cannot see these fields on the object level. This is specific to the specific report. So if I have created a report 1, 2, 3. Now report 2 is needed a new field to display the new values. So what we can do, I can create a field in the report 2. And then I can place that field on the report. So it will display the data. And whatever the field I create in the report 2, I cannot see that field on the object level. It is restricted to that particular report. Right? So if, for example, if I have created 3 reports, this is the report 1, report 2, and then report 3. I need a new field on the report. So what I'll do, I'll create a field on report 2. When I create a field on report 2, I cannot see on report 1, I cannot see on report 3. I cannot see on report 3. This field is restricted to only report 2. And even at the object level, if you go to that particular object, in the object also, you cannot see this field here. Now, these fields are called bucket fields. Bucket fields. So we will see how to create a bucket field specific to the report and how to display the data in the report that this field is bucket field is containing. And we will see that. Now next one is a dashboard. Dashboard like a, if I have to send an email to the manager regarding the reports, then what we will do, we will send a dashboard. So the dashboard will contain Now let's say here, for example. So let's open the page.
Madam, can you explain the bucket field? Swapna, madam? Madam, what is the meaning of bucket field?
Yeah, I'll explain. Just give me a second. Because
Yeah.
bucket field, we will see in detail what is the bucket field, because if I explain it also, they will not be able to understand. So let's say here, for example, I'm going to take let's take a page. Now, let's say here, for example, let's take some application. Assume that right now we are in the company, right? So we are implementing an application. So the requirement which we have received it from the bank. So this is from the bank, they wanted to. So this is the bank. So from the bank, we have received a requirement saying that implement a application. So the bank organization, like let's take a HDFC bank. Okay, HDFC bank, they gave the project to the company, and the project is divided that into the requirement. Now we have to build an application. We have to build an application, and in order to build this application, right, what are the things are required here? Right. So for example, I need to implement a login registration application. Let's say I have to implement a multiple application like a registration application. Registration application, and then we have to implement a login screen for the after the registration, the login screen, and then we have to implement the home screen. And what are the activities should happen when we like there is some activities which happens. Let's assume that. Now let's take a scenario here. We have already implemented. Say here we have implemented. So whenever we get a project, so the first thing what we will see, we will think about the storage. So we will think about the how can we store the data, the customer data, what are the customers are there for the HDFC bank? How can we store the data? Where can we store the data? And in order to implement this application, which Salesforce additions we should be taking care, right? First, the thing is that at the high level, first we will need to understand which Salesforce addition we have to take it. So there are different additions will be available and how we are going to store the data. In order to store this data, that means, for example, I have received the registration is done by the multiple users. Like let's say here I have three customers. We have three customers who are trying to create their credentials. The first time they have reached to the HDFC and they wanted to open the bank account. So if they want to open the bank account, the first thing they have to do is the registration. Once they do the registration at the back end, what will happen here? They are entering the data. Now at the back end, the data will goes to the Salesforce. Now here this is the Salesforce. Now in the Salesforce, we are going to store the information, right? So we are going to store the information in the different objects. Like we have a different tables, we call it as the table. So in the Salesforce, assume that here, this is the UI part of it. This is UI part of it, and these customers are filling up the data, and at the back end, So once this is filled, it goes to the Salesforce here. This is, and then in between we have a business logic, and here it is the database. Now the data will be stored in the backend, which is a called database.com. Database.com. Now we have to store the customer information in different table. That means one, like a only customer personal information, we have to store it inside the contact. Right, so let's assume that I'm storing into the contact person details, let's say person table, I'm storing into the person table. Similarly, I have to store the bank transactions. So I'll be storing in the another table which is called as a transaction. So all these tables are sits inside the database.com. Right. So for example, as soon as the registration done, what is the first thing we have to send an email. We have to send an email to the customer. Now in Salesforce, in order to implement and send this email, we have to use the email templates. We have a topic called email templates. So by using the email templates, what we will do is as soon as this person does the registration, now he will log in into this UI and click on the submit button. Once we click on the submit button, immediately the email should go back to the customer, email or SMS. Right, so this is you have registered in this so and so HDFC bank, and you will be my team will be contacting you soon. So those all communication will be happen. So as soon as you click on a save button, it goes back to the database.com with the help of business logic here, and it sets the data here. As soon as the data is stored perfectly, related table, whether it is a person table, so initially it will be a registration table. So in the registration table, it sets the data here. Once the data is successful, we will send an email. Right, so this email we will be sending to the users with the help of email templates. Now here, whatever the tables are there, like a person, registration, and the transaction, these all are called as the objects in Salesforce. These all are called as objects. Objects is nothing but a table. Right, so these all we will be having in the data modeling part. So here we will be having a registration table, person table, and transaction table is nothing but a registration object, person object, and transaction object. So like this, we will be storing the different objects. Now, which person is doing the, like once the registration is done, then we have to provide the login credentials to this user. Right, so login credentials, we will be doing automation in the backend. We will generate a login credential. Assume that this user is already got the credentials and they are able to log into the home screen. They are able to log into the home screen and they are able to open the data. Now here, whenever we open the bank login, so whenever we open, first it will show here name of the person, and then it will show the what is the current amount and your card number. So like in the table format, it will display. Now how this is happening, it is going to pull the data from database and display the information. So that means all your data in the object, it will store in the particular field. Now here it will store the name. Now this is the, now here it is a name, and then we have a current amount, how much is the amount is there, and it's the ID, the bank account ID, and they have a credit card, debit card, all the information will be stored. So this is called as a in Salesforce fields. It is called fields. Now, so in case if you want to, so for example, this is the field. So we are pulling the data and displaying the information here. Right now, if you want to auto calculate, for example, if the person is deducted the amount. So when they deduct the amount, so automatically whatever the current balance is there, so it has to be deducted, right? So for example, right now this person is having a some 1 lakh amount is there. Now, from 1 lakh, whatever he has taken out the amount, like he has taken the 50,000. So whatever the remaining amount is there, it has to be displayed the remaining amount here. That means there is some kind of a automation is happening at the back. Now, this kind of a automation, you can do it in different ways in Salesforce, right? Like you can implement a formula fields. In Salesforce, you can implement a formula fields in order to automatically display the certain values based on the deduction or credit. You can display the formula fields. This is kind of a mathematical, and then we will be seeing the. Also, you have a roll-up summary. When you have a relationship between the person and region, then you can have a relationship. Once you have a relationship, you can implement a roll-up summary. Otherwise, you will be doing the different automation, you can do it. Like we have a different automation. For example, lightning flows. Using the lightning flows, you will be implementing the automation tool. We will be implementing the automation tool. So using this automation tool, you can automate certain process in the Salesforce. Now, in case if the user has entered proper information during the registration, whether they have entered or during the login, did they enter correctly or not? For example, or else the ATM PIN number. So whenever the PIN number, whether the user is entering the PIN number correct or not. In case if I enter incorrect PIN number, so what will happen? Immediately it is going to show me the message saying that you have entered invalid PIN number. It displays the invalid PIN number. So this is within immediately it is going to display the information. That means we can implement using the validation rule in order to cross verify whether the data is entered correctly or not. So in order to cross verify, you can check using the validation rule. And also in a month, how many times the person is deducting, crediting, or if they are changing the address information. Sometimes in the bank we change the address information. So when we change the address information, when was the last address is changed? When was the last phone number is changed? And after how many months they are requesting the phone number change? After how many months they are requesting the address change? If you want to know those things, if you want to track those information, we have a concept called field tracking history. So we can track the history of address field, we can track the history of the phone number, and in case it Aadhaar card or a PAN card number, you can track those fields when they have changed and what was the current one, what was the previous one. Everything you can cross verify using the field history tracking, field tracking history. Right, so this is the validation and formula field automation, these all things are happening. Now let's say here, now whenever the we have a different teams are available. In the company, in the HDFC bank, you have a customer and you have a support team. In the HDFC, we have a support team and service team, the whoever is helping us, or the main development team will be there. Development will be there. Our managers will be there, right? So we will have a managers, and there are few team members who are helping the. Whenever there is any issue, they will be helping us. So these are the different teams we have it. So we have different teams are available. So when we have a different teams, now when the developer goes to the HDFC, when they log into the HDFC, so what they will see, they have to see the purely the development part of it. Now when the customer is logged in, they should see only their information and regarding the loan information and regarding the credit card bill or a debit card, these information they should see. Developer, they should see only the development part of it, the coding, backend, the coding has to be visible. And the support team will have a more access compared to the customer. Like here, customer can see only 1% data. Support team or a manager can see based on, like whenever we go to the bank, they will ask, provide me your number, what are the bank account number. So if you give us if we give bank account number, so what will happen? The person will be able to see entire information of that particular bank account. And this person will be having everybody's account access, not only the specific customer, everybody account access will be available. Only they need to search the specific account number. When they search the account number, they should be able to open up the account information, and then they will explain us what has happened in the last month, everything they will explain. Now, in this case, if you observe, so everybody has a different level of security and different level of access is there. Everybody is having a different security and different level of access. Right? So whatever the developer can see, customer cannot see. Right? So support team or a managers will be having a more flexibility. Manager can see everything. And support can see the UI part of all the account numbers. So all this security information access, this is called as a data security. How we are going to show the data to a user which is holding based on their work, based on their profession, right? If the customer, we will show the data which is specific to that person. If it is a team members or a support team, we will be showing the data specific to their profession. If it is a manager, we will show all the information. Development should have a complete access on the code level. So this is everything is controlled in the data security. That's how we will be having a different level of security will be there. So this user, now this is support user will have a different levels. Development user will have a different level of access. Manager users will have a different level of access. And similarly, team members, manager will have a few team members. So they will be having a different access. There is a separate team who will be handling only related to the loans. So the related to the loans, they will be having a separate access specific to the loans, right? How much loan they have to give and all those information they can see. So this loan information, the support cannot see, right? So there are different type of loans will be there, home loans, so different type of a home loan. So everybody will be getting their own access. That's how we are going to restrict based on the data security. Now let's say here for example, customer has the PIN number or it is not working, or maybe the card, he lost the card. So the user has lost the card. When the user has lost the card, so they will open up the account and they will raise a customer request. They will raise customer request. When they raise a customer request, what will happen? There is a separate team who will be handling only card related issues, right? If they or if they will block the card, or maybe they forgot the PIN number, only card related information, there is a separate team who will be handling this. Now, as soon as the customer raise a request, immediately in Salesforce, there is one object will be there. In that object, the record gets inserted. Now, assume that there is a separate object, we have it. In this object, the record, whatever the data is there, this data customer, whatever the raised it will go and insert into this object. Assume that this object name is a case or a ticket, right? So there is a ticket is raised, our case is raised, and it will be registered in this object. As soon as it is registered in the object, now there is a separate team who will be handling this type of a issue. Now, whenever this person is registered, there are so many things we need to cross verify because HDFC company is there in multiple locations. Like in India, every place we have it. Now, from which place this person has raised it? This person has raised it from online. But what is the location that he is given? Now, based on the location and also based on the nearby HDFC. What is the nearby HDFC? Everything we need to cross verify. After cross verifying this, we will be assigning now whoever is this area HDFC team is available, who is taking care of that card. So we will be assigning this case to that specific team. Right? So if the person is raised from the Bangalore, now if I assign this case to the Hyderabad team or Delhi team, they will not be able to solve it. Maybe the person has to go to this place in order to collect more information. In this case, the Noida, if I give it to the Noida team or some different location, it might not be possible. If I assign this case, whatever the customer has raised it, if I assign it, it will go to that particular, if I see nearby location, whatever the HDFC bank is there. So whoever is the team is there, we will be assigning to that team. So how we will be assigning it? We have a concept called queue. We have a concept is called queue. In the queue, we have a subgroups like a public group, automated transfer, assignment rules, all this based on the sub topic. We will be assigning them the case to this team. So we have the support team nearby location, we will be assigning to this team. Now when we assign to this team, in the team, there are 4 members might be there. In the team, 5 members might be there. Assume that 5 members we have it. Now whoever is the person is available, they will go to this queue and they will take this particular case and start working on it. So that's how they will be using the queues. Now, once they start working on it, so they will find out the solution. Maybe the solution might be resetting the PIN number, or solution might be providing the new credit card, or solution might be blocking the card. So whatever the solution will be there, so that solution will be provided to this customer. And so this team can take care of this. So this is how where the queues part will come into the play. Now, every quarter, that means every 3 months. Every 3 months, manager role here is every month or every 3 months. They wanted to see how many transactions are happening. They wanted to see how many new customers we are receiving here. And what are the transactions are happening. Right? What are the transactions are happening? And how many customers did we lose it? How many customers did we lose it? Lost customers. And what is the reason for that? So they wanted to, manager want to get the review. So when they want to get the review, so that time what we will do, manager cannot go to the each object and open each record. It is time consuming. Like manager going to the person, if there are 3 lakhs users are there with the HDFC. So all the 3 lakhs data one by one, he cannot open it. He cannot open and he cannot see that information, right? So it is so difficult. Similarly, opening up the transaction, again, opening up the case is time consuming it. Instead of going to the each object, what we can do is we can create a reports and dashboards. We can create a reports and dashboards. Now here the reports are basically I can generate a template or a report. It's kind of a it's similar like every starting of the month you will receive a bill statement. So there you will have a date, on which date how much amount is there, on which date, where did you do the transaction, where it is deducted the amount, what is the reason, you will get a bill, right? So similar like we can generate a report. This report will give you the total information total information. So reports is like a tabular format, you can see all the data. Whereas dashboard is nothing but it is a graphical representation. Like in the dashboard, like you can say here, now let's say dashboard will be here. Now in the April month, so we are new customers, we have received 10 new customers. Now May month, we have received 5 new customers, and then June month, we have received 15. So like this report will be generated. Now this is the dashboard. Now this dashboard is a graphical representation. So by looking at this report, the manager can see, okay, so in June month, we have so many new customers are there. In April, May month, it was less, maybe because of the some maybe finance or something based on, they will try to analyze what is the reason it was less in the May month, was the market is down or everything, they will analysis, they will do it. So here we will have it, reports will be a tabular format, dashboards will be a graphical representation. Now during this time, let's assume that I want to calculate certain values. Now in the reports, I have a current amount is this much. Now current amount is, let's say, 1 lakh. So right now this customer is holding 1 lakh amount is there. Now you want to identify out of this customer who is the gold customer, who is the maybe silver customer, who is the general customer. Now how do you identify? Now gold customer is nothing but who is having a current balances which is greater than 1 lakh. Greater than 1 lakh, they are the gold customer. Now, whoever is the less than 1 lakh and greater than maybe 50 or 90, let's take a 90,000. So they are the silver customers. Now, whoever is the less than 90,000 greater than 500. So they are the general customer. Now you need to identify this in the report. That means I need to group by gold customer, group by silver customer, group by general customer. Now I need to group it and get the count of it. Now how do you do this? In order to do this, you have to create a certain field. And this field is needed only on the report level. Right, so I'll create this field, and this field is, we call it as a bucket field. So in this bucket field, I will have some kind of a generic logic, and based on this generic logic, I'll group it in the report. So here I can say, okay, gold customers are 15 members, silver customers are 30 members, general customers are 40 members. Like this, I can group it. So in order to do some kind of a calculation, if I need to do any calculation or a logic, or if I want to identify the customer, or if I wanted to check how many are the private customer, how many are the public customer, how many are the VIP customers. If I wanted to know that, so we do not have any field to track that on the person level. So in that case, what we will do, we will create a generic field here. In the field, we will specify here wherever the current amount is, current balance is greater than 1 lakh. Specify that as a general. So here it is going to generate it as a general, the gold customer, and then silver, then general customer. So it is going to specify it. So that's how we will use the bucket fields. Now, so this, here, if you see here, now the automation. So in order to, whenever we have a less than, for example, less than, current balance is less than 0. Current balance is less than 0. Now, for that, we need some kind of a automation. Whenever the current balance is less than 0, we have to send an email. So that is a automation. That is another automation, which we can do it using the workflows. Using the workflows, we can do it. Using the workflows, we can cross-verify. We can cross-verify and then we can send an email. So that is another automation, we have it. And now, in case if we wanted to show some kind of a offer from the HDFC, we can display that and show the information. So these all activities we can do it using the admin, only using the admin. Yes, bucket fields are similar like a formula fields, but it is specific to the reports. Now, these all activities we can do it. So if you see here, we have covered in this entire flow. We have covered here. This is the front end UI, and this is the back end and business logic, and this is the database, which is a back end logic, and the technology which we are going to use it. So this is the Salesforce introduction. Then how to store the storage mechanism. So we have seen the storage mechanism, what are the additions which we can do it. So this is Salesforce basic topic, which will be coming. So this is the third topic, which is Salesforce basics. This is second topic, front end, business logic, back end, everything will be the second topic. Now, once this storage Salesforce edition is done, then before we started, we will be looking at the what are the CRM architecture, how best we can provide the CRM, customer relationship management, what are the different ways we can provide it, we will see about that. So that is the fourth topic, which is Salesforce CRM. And then data modeling. In the data modeling, we have covered the objects, fields, formula fields, validation rule, field tracking, roll-up summary field, right? So these are the data model. This entire topic will be is the fourth one, which is called data modeling. Now, once we are done with the data modeling, in case if here we have a team, support team is there. Now, support team wants to see the UI in a different level. Like they as soon as they open this, they are searching the account number. When they search the account number, they wanted to see the data of all the accounts, or maybe whatever the account is searched, what are the different things which we can do it. So they will be having a different layouts, different layouts, and they will be having a different text, which is a UI customization. This is the seventh topic where we will have a UI customization. Next, we have a security. Now, what are the security we will be providing it to the each team? Now, which is a eighth topic, which is data security in the different level, access level, which is a eighth topic. So where we will be talking about the security, access, object level access, field level access, and pod level access. Now, those all will be provided. Then we have a email templates where we are building the folders, email template folder, and then email template, which is called as a ninth topic, which is email templates. Then we have it once the case is like, let's assume that the customer is raised a case, and that case will be assigned to the queue. Now, in the queue, how should we assign to the which team do we have to assign it? Who will be taking care of this? And this topic will be the 10th topic, which is queues. Then we are seeing the 11th topic, which is called as a reports and dashboards. Now, how can we see the reports? How can we send the reports to the managers? And how can we send the dashboard to the manager who will be able to see it? A certain time during this process, we have to go through the certain automation. We have to go through the certain automation. So those automation topic will be the 12. So this is the 12th topic, which covers the automation, lightning flows, workflows, process builder is many others. So I will not be covering the process builder. I will not be covering the process builder. It's this will be very high level process builder, and the approval process, all the approval process we will be seeing it, and then lightning flows we will see after this. Next, we will understand the topic which is called as the MVC architecture. MVC architecture, and then the next topic will be the what are the activities is happening by this customer. How many transactions are happening? If address field change is there, what are the address field change? When they have done it, address field, the field tracking. task, events, if I have to create a task, if I have to create a events, and if I have to schedule a myself to talk to the customer, so we will schedule a calendar. So those all will be the activity management. And finally, we have a next topic which is called as a data management. So in the data management, that's a different topic apart from the admin, how to load the data into the Salesforce. So we will see that is a data loader different. So total we have a around 16 topics. All these 16 topics will be having a subtopics. Now, we will be discussing each topic in depth, like what is it, why Salesforce has introduced, how should we use it, this topic, we will be seeing it in depth. Wherever it is required, I'll be talking about more information. Wherever it is a very high level, which I know that it does not have much, then we will be covering it the high level, like a process builder. Process builder is going away. So that topic I'll not be going in depth, but most of the topics we will see, including the governance limits, we will be talking about the each subject and each topic. Even development, also we will be. We have a development course also that is starting in the January. So in development also we will be talking about each one of them. Any questions on the 16 topics?